I'm Chris Favra. I'm the Web Content Manager for CFE Media and Technology, and welcome to this installment of the Maintaining Your Plant Floor Edge series. Maintenance is a crucial aspect of manufacturing and helps workers remain safe and productive and keeps machinery operational and lasting longer than ever. But maintenance, though, is so much more than just that. It's a philosophy and a discipline, and how it is applied differs from company to company and person to person. So how do you keep maintenance at a high level, and what does your company practice to stay consistent in their quality? This series examines how subject matter experts and their companies work to keep maintenance at the highest possible level. Today's subject matter is Pratibha Pillalamarri from Aspen Technologies, who will be discussing how to optimize asset performance, including reliability, and how it can be used to achieve operational efficiency and sustainability goals. She also was a panelist in our maintenance Q&A for the March-April issue of Plant Engineering. There will be an available link below for you to learn additional insights from her. Welcome, Pratibha.
Hi, Chris.
I'm glad to have you here. So I guess we'll start off with something pretty general. When it comes to maintenance for industrial and manufacturing facilities, what are the current trends you're seeing?
So for the past couple of years, we're seeing a noticeable shift towards predictive, proactive maintenance strategies in the industrial manufacturing facilities. So basically, companies are getting smarter about how they take care of their equipment. And this is also facilitated with the availability of low-cost sensors, advanced technologies like predictive analytics, AI, machine learning, to keep an eye on their equipment in real time. So what this means is that they can spot potential issues before they even happen and fix them before they cause a bigger headache. So I would say it's a big move away from the old way of doing things, so waiting for things to break down and then scrambling to fix them, or doing it in a periodic fashion, so calendar-based or time-based maintenance. And it's also not just, we're not just focusing on breakdowns anymore. There is also a growing focus on using data to make smarter decisions. So how do you manage assets over its entire life cycle? So there is a big push in ensuring asset performance, but there is equally a big push towards sustainability that you just touched upon. So making sure that maintenance operations are eco-friendly and we're not wasting resources. So with all these new technologies, maintenance is, of course, becoming more efficient. It's becoming more cost effective. At the heart of all of this is definitely to keep your equipment running smoothly, cutting down downtime, making sure everything runs well, and of course, the ultimate goal being saving money, boosting productivity across the board.
Naturally, yeah. And there's been so many advances, in the last 10 to 15 years, and the way it is done now is so
Yep.
different. And asset management is playing a much bigger role these days. It seems like when it comes to maintenance.
Yep.
And with Aspen Technologies and in your philosophy, what role does asset management play in your maintenance practices, and how has it evolved in the last several years, and particularly with the rise of the industrial Internet of Things and Industry 4.0?
So I want to start by saying asset management is at the core of maintenance practices, like you mentioned, with the IIoT Industry 4.0, it is definitely the core. Traditionally, the focus was on maintaining equipment, extending lifespan while keeping costs down. But like I said, it is often set at a scheduled time, at a scheduled interval. But now, thanks to these technologies, our approach has become more data-driven and proactive. So with the integration of AI and machine learning, we are now moving towards a more sophisticated analysis, if you can say, of asset performance data. So these tools and the technologies that are available today, we are able to identify patterns, predict failures, and optimize maintenance schedules, thereby maximizing asset uptime and efficiency. So if you think about it, we have kind of moved away from reacting to problems to kind of anticipating and preventing them. The other crucial aspect, if you think of APM, asset performance management, is recognizing that assets don't operate in isolation, right? They are influenced by various factors, including the processes, the environment in which they're operating. So if you think of equipment that is operating in harsh conditions like pharmaceuticals or food and beverage, uh,
Mm-hmm.
the conditions, the environment itself can affect its performance, the process. So by leveraging these technologies, we can continuously monitor asset health based on its actual usage and then schedule maintenance activities. So this process and this evolution, like you mentioned in the last 10 to 15 years, has made our maintenance processes more effective. And
Mm-hmm.
leveraging real-time data and advanced analytics has definitely helped optimize asset performance.
Yeah. And with all this information, you're not just getting a picture of just one device, one system, or one assembly line. You're getting a wide canvas shot of everything, and
Correct.
it's giving you the ability to see how everything, as you say, works in tandem. So it's not just like one breakdown because of one thing. It's an entire systemic, analysis you get to now perform.
Yeah, like if you think about it, if one parameter in the feed, if you think of refining operations, if one parameter is off, you have to consider how that impacts your downstream operations. Or if a
Mhm.
particular pump or a compressor fails, how does it impact your product delivery commitment? So an impact in one unit or one process can actually impact your whole operations. And with data, now you're not looking at your equipment in silos, right?
Mhm.
You're looking at, let's say, the pressure, the temperature of a particular piece in a particular process, and then trying to
Mhm.
understand how that is affecting or impacting something else downstream. And I think that
Yeah.
is the beauty of having this data and having these
Yeah.
technologies.
Is that a good way if somebody's trying to get started with asset management and trying to understand how the data is, affects the entire facility? When it comes to operational efficiency, like starting with like, a problem child, if you will, something that has been a consistent thorn in a company side. Is that a good way to start with operational efficiency, or are there other ways that people and companies can, get on the asset management bandwagon kind of seamlessly?
Um, I think operational efficiency has always been crucial, right? When you're thinking of operational efficiency, it is something that most companies are tracking,
Hmm.
availability, the quality, and the performance. So to answer your question, I think asset performance management heavily impacts operational efficiency, and that's a great right off the gate. It's the best way to get started if you're targeting operational efficiency because you're, like I said, not just looking at the impact of losing a certain piece of equipment in isolation, but you're considering the impact of the
Hmm.
uh, process on the equipment, also impact of losing an equipment on the entire system,
Hmm.
and the risks and the costs associated with it, which is what most companies are tracking anyway. So I think asset performance management solution is the best way to get started. Um, if you want to improve your operational efficiency, which I think most
Sure.
companies are. Yeah.
Yeah. And with all this data now that's in the ecosystem, AI ML in particular, especially in the
Mhm.
last, I don't know, year and a half, has really kind of jumped to the forefront of the of our consciousness in the general public. But AI ML is not exactly a new idea. It's not a new concept, but it's getting a new lease on life. And
Mm.
but when it comes to asset management, what role does AI/ML play in improving operational efficiency and sustainability? And what are some best practices companies can employ?
Okay, so it's twofold, and I'm going to split up my answer because there's a lot to unpack here. Uh,
Hmm.
I would first say absolutely optimizing asset performance helps with profitability and sustainability. You need APM solutions because they offer a pathway to achieve these dual goals. You can
Hmm.
achieve and address your energy efficiency issues. You can help reduce waste, help reduce emissions, at the same time, enhance equipment reliability and reduce operational costs. I'll give you an example. So consider a chemical manufacturer where unplanned events can result in, like I said, wasted energy or lost batches and squandered resources. And think about restarting the whole production line, right? That introduces another level of complexity. So now the products that are manufactured post restart may suffer from quality issues. So you have invested resources, whether it is manpower, money, time, introducing a product, and now you're having to do it all over again. But with the help of technology, predictive analytics, you can identify unplanned issues and unplanned outages, whether it is process or equipment, ahead of time. So they play a very pivotal role in enhancing safety, productivity, like I said, and energy efficiency, and impact energy efficiency initiatives. If you think of emissions, when you get a 40-day, let's say, advanced warning of a compressor failure, it not just helps you with safe shutdowns, but is also helping you prevent emissions and ensuring worker safety. So there is a significant impact, not just on the bottom line, but also on the sustainability issues. Now, coming back to, you said, what are the best practices, right?
Yeah.
I've said this multiple times. I think finding the right partner is quite crucial. So seek a provider or a technology implementation partner with industry-specific expertise, and one that is collaborative, so that they're not just helping you with the implementation, but there is also post-implementation support. There is an open channel of communication wherein one can influence the other.
Yeah.
That is absolutely important. And in starting any of these implementations, I think it's crucial, even more crucial, to gain buy-in across the organization. So from the get-go, make sure you are involving your stakeholders, everyone from the plant floor to the executive suite, conduct vision workshops so that everyone is on the same level, identify difficult problem areas, define your key performance indicators to track success, and ensure you have champions, across the way, like I said, from the plant floor to the executive suite. Make sure you have identified champions who are going to support you throughout this implementation. We touched upon data, we touched upon low-cost sensors. So the next thing definitely is to make sure you're gathering data from various sources, from your sensors, from your maintenance logs, from your EAM or CMMS systems if you have, product quality parameters, because you need all of this for real-time monitoring. And like I said, the equipment doesn't operate in isolation, so you have to consider the process, the equipment, and everything around it. Tracking progress, like I mentioned before, ensure you have a value capture strategy and an active management plan to track these key parameters. And lastly, I would say start small, but definitely think about the big picture. So identify work streams that are critical to your unit, to your process, to your facility, to achieve those gains.
Yeah. And something you'd mentioned, gathering all this data, but I imagine when you find the right partner, they can help you not only gather all this data, but help you find the right context and, I've heard that phrase, data into information, make this information that, your people can use and to not only solve the immediate problem, but prevent it from happening again.
Yes, exactly. I think some of the best solutions out there, one, help you with gathering the data, circulating data, cleaning the data, and processing the data, because data by itself, well, it's great, but then you need insights to act. So ensure that they're able to surface actionable insights. Dashboards are quite common, and dashboards are a great way for your teams to collaborate as well. So going back to the point that I made earlier, that the equipment doesn't operate in isolation, the data and the insights that you get from these solutions are not just used by, let's say, maintenance or reliability engineers. You can work together with your process operation engineers and understand, okay, fine, if I lose this one piece of equipment, how is it impacting your process? Can I even do it, or should I plan it? And when should I plan that? So you can make sure you're bringing in your process operations, your planning, scheduling folks, the ones that are ensuring, your spare parts are available, ensuring that your delivery commitments are met. So yeah, there are solutions that kind of work with the data, provide the insights, not just for a specific role or a function, but across all functions and across all levels.
You cover pretty much run the gamut from one end of the asset management portfolio to the other. And I was wondering if you had if you wanted to talk about a successful project involving asset management that resulted positively, and what was the biggest takeaway from that project that you and your partners learned?
Sure. I would talk about, so one of our successful projects involved this client from Latin America. So it's a Latin American oil and gas company, OCP Ecuador. So again, they had data and they had challenges managing this data with a very small engineering team. They were a team of 6 engineers. And what they do is to ensure, using 22 engines, ensure oil transportation from their production facility all the way to the marine terminal. And so even losing one piece of engine was catastrophic for them. So they deployed our ATM solutions with the goal to minimize equipment failure, to predict equipment failure and minimize them, making sure there is sufficient uptime and reduce their maintenance costs. So once we deployed the solution, we were able to help. I think what was neat was we were able to help engineers free up their time so that they could focus on other critical tasks. With the time that was available, they started looking at their spare parts inventory and optimizing it. And so they were able to extend also the life of some of the camshafts to a substantial number. And today, our solution is kind of integral to their operations. So they are currently training their field personnel to also use the solution, which is kind of invaluable in a tight labor market as we have. So I think the key takeaway is definitely the ease of use and the insights and the timely insights that the solution was able to provide these engineers in avoiding catastrophic breakdowns.
Yeah, yeah, as you say, no margin for error for this company, so they really had to. So it was great that you were able to, not only give them the insights they needed, but also, improve their operations by, taking a lot off of their plate, as it
Yes.
were.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
well,
the team is quite a small team to handle the data and handle the operations and the maintenance. So we were glad that we were able to, help them.
and it sounds like they were pretty receptive to your to what you were trying to help them with. It sounds like.
Yeah, because like I said, we focus a lot on when setting the stage and when getting started, we focus a lot on what we call as value workshops. So we sit down with the client, trying to understand what their priorities are, like I said, and what their pain points are, and then work with them. So they kind of shadow and learn and understand the solution, and then they go off and do this on their own because the solution is self-sustaining. It's about working together with our customers, making sure that they are up to speed, and then it's a consultative approach. So there is
Yeah.
always a feedback loop.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they learn from you, you learn from them, and
Yes.
it's self-sustaining in its own way, especially if there's a good
Yeah.
open dialogue between you and your partners and your customers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, thank you very much, Pratibha, for joining me today. I appreciated your insights, and thank you again for taking the time to join me today for this video interview.
Oh no, thank you absolutely for having me. This was fun. We should do it again.
Absolutely. And Again, a link to Pratibha's additional insights will be found below, so you can see her and other thought leaders' insights in our maintenance Q&A from the March-April issue. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel Plant Eng Mag. You can find additional videos on the Maintaining Your Plant Floor Edge series and other videos from recent events on the channel. And I'm Chris Favre, Web Content Manager for CFE Media and Technology. Thanks for watching.